Hi everyone, welcome back to my crafty corner. Today is Friday, October 6th, and I hope you are having a great day. My name is Jeanne Bobish, and I am a Fun Stamper's Journey coach. Today we're going to be working on a little bit of a Christmas card, but I wanted to talk to you about something else first. As you know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Fun Stamper's Journey is having what they are calling a Be Brave card drive. And what they're asking is that everybody would create an A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Anything you want that would be an encouraging message to someone that is affected by breast cancer, whether it be maybe a family member who's taking care of a loved one, or the actual person that is going through and suffering with the disease. Now, last year they collected 475 cards, and this year they have a goal of reaching 500 cards. So I would like to put out a plea that maybe all my viewers and their crafty friends would create a card for breast cancer awareness for the Be Brave card drive. Like I said, you can use any products you want. The only thing that Fun Stamper's Journey has to do with this is they're just collecting the cards. If you check my blog, A Stroke of Genius, at blogspot.com, you will find all the information, the address to send the cards to, and what have you. And they need the cards to arrive in Arizona on Friday, October 27th. So I was working today and did a couple. Here's one I did. Now you guys, if you know me at all, know that I absolutely adore pink. And so this one, I used some non-Fun Stamper's Journey watercolor markers to color in my flowers. Of course, these are Fun Stamper's Journey stamps, but you can use anything you have. This is not a selling point. This is strictly a loving, caring thing to do for a fellow human being who is suffering with breast cancer. So this is the second one I did today. Has a little organza ribbon, a little sparkle. Love me my little pink flowers. And believe me, I will be making more, and I am encouraging everyone to please chip and get in. My goodness. And let's blow the top off of that 500 card goal. 500 card goal. Oh, my teeth are not working today. And let's just really, really get out there, get creative, and create some inspiring cards. So that'll give you something to motivate you too and get your mojo going. And so give it a try. I think they would really appreciate it. And I know the people that will be receiving them will be appreciating them as well. So back to today. We're going to do a fun holiday card with this beautiful poinsettia steel rule die and a couple other stamp sets. Some of our gorgeous background paper. And so I hope you will stick with me while I create this card. In the meantime, excuse my hands and all the movement while I get you up in the cheap seats here. And let's see, get this arranged. I hit my head on it earlier, and so knocked it all out of kilter. So there you see, all of the products I'm using today are available on my website, funstampersjourney.com. Here is another view of our card. So some of the things we're going to need is our poinsettia steel rule die. I absolutely love this die. It creates the most beautiful poinsettias. I'm going to be using the Robin Holiday. And for that, I'm just using the Happy Holiday Sentiments. We're going to be using our Poinsettia Burst stamp and die set. And that's for the greenery and some of the leaves. We're going to be using our Journey Gold accent pieces, Fashion Gold, to place in the center. We're also going to be using Cranberry Bliss and our gold silks. And these are so much fun to play with. Of course, we're going to use some brushed gold cardstock, our black licorice ink, kiwi slice ink. I'm going to use a black licorice card base, and we're going to use Limeade Splash for our greenery, some whipped cream for our background stripes, and I've already cut out our poinsettias out of Cranberry Bliss and Pomegranate Splash. Now, the reason I like to do these in two separate colors is because when you stack the layers, you get a little more dimension with the different colors. And I'll show you how I shape them and everything. And finally, we're going to be using this gorgeous poinsettia paper from our Christmas Cheer Prints paper pack. Now, this is a 24 pack of double-sided sheets. You get 6 designs, 4 of each design. And like I said, there's a design on each side. This is what's on the reverse of the poinsettia. And if you've been watching me lately, I've been using a lot of this paper because I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And look how beautiful that Limeade Splash goes with it. And with the black, oh my gosh. I mean, you could just go crazy with this paper. So let me get my card out of the way and move some of this stuff. And like I said, if you're interested in purchasing any of these products, stop by my website, funstampersjourney.com/Jeanne Bobish. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, and I will be glad to help you with any questions or concerns that you might have. So we're going to start by folding our card in half and creating our black licorice card base. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I want to trim this paper. I only need maybe 2 inches of it that's going to show. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 2 inches. And I want to make sure, although this is kind of doesn't have a direction to it, if you're using a different print or a different paper, make sure that your pattern is going in the correct direction. Okay, now I trimmed this to be 5 1/4 so that we have this beautiful black border around the outside. Now look how exquisite, absolutely exquisite that looks on that black paper. Now I have a piece of whipped cream that is 2 1/2 inches wide, and I want to cut that in half. So that would be 1 1/4 inch wide. So I'm just going to go ahead, cut that, and these are going to go at the top and the bottom. And that just is like really loud in your face. So I took some of our brushed gold and I only cut this about 1/4 inch. I just want a little bit of a reveal. So to start to put this card together and to get it spaced the way I want it spaced, I'm going to add some of our adhesive to the edge of this white strip on the back. And then I'm going to place, some of it I went over the edge, I'm going to place my brushed gold paper down, and I want about 1/4 of an inch reveal. So using my grid paper makes it really, really easy because I can line that up very nicely and I get that nice band. And you see how the gold really breaks up and doesn't make it quite such a stark contrast between the two colors. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other half, and hopefully I'll be able to keep my adhesive on the white paper. And again, I'm going to line this up with my grid paper and place my white so that I have a very nice, even 1/4 inch reveal. Okay, and that, for some reason, that is bigger than my other one. I didn't press it down. Don't press it until you're absolutely sure that you have it where you want it. Now, if I line up the bottom edge of my gold with one of my grid lines, I can go up 1 square and place my white. And there I have an absolutely beautiful border on my paper. Now, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper because we're going to have some fun with our silks. And I'm just going to lay these down. And we'll start with our Cranberry Bliss. And you want to shake it up really, really good because all the fun, pretty, glittery, metallic stuff settles at the bottom. So you want to hit it against your palm and get it shaken up really, really, really well. Okay? And then it's like a little nail polish brush inside here. And we're just going to go ahead and flick the silk onto our paper. And this is also going to break up some of that stark white and calm it down a little bit. And then again with the gold, and you really want to shake the gold because you want that good, pretty, shiny stuff to show. So once you see that there's no more stuff on the bottom, then you know it's all mixed up. And again, we're going to do the same thing. Just flick some of that color on the white. If it gets on the gold, that's fine. Won't hurt anything. Okay. So there we have it. I'm going to get a baby wipe because it gets all over my hands. And we're going to set that just aside to dry. It usually dries fairly quickly, but I don't want to take any chances of smearing those beautiful splatters. And I will set this aside, and now we're going to work on our poinsettia. Now, as I said, I have already cut out my poinsettia, and I'll show you how I did that when I cut out the leaves. But right now, I have the largest, where's that die, and I'll show you. There are 3 sizes of poinsettia leaves on here. There's large, medium, and small. So I did the large and the small with the pomegranate splash, and I did the medium with Cranberry Bliss. Now I'm going to turn them all over on their back side. This has a piece of tape where I tape the paper to my die. And I'm going to use the largest stylus that's on my bloom tool. Now, if you're not familiar with our bloom tool, I don't know how you're paper crafting without it, to be honest with you. It is a fabulous, fabulous tool, and it comes with 7 attachments. And these attachments just pop out, and they are interchangeable. Now, I actually have 2 bloom tools because I have my favorite points, or, pieces attached to each one. So you get a brush, you get a dental pick, you get a little plastic spatula, you get a straight pointy pick, and you get 3 stylus. So we're going to take the largest stylus, and on the back of our poinsettias, we're just going to go in a circular motion on each one of these petals until we get a nice formed curved petal. And I have this foam mat that I love. It's not from FSJ, it's another company. It came with a flower shaping kit, but it's kind of like a dense foam, and it was designed for shaping flowers. Don't ask me where I got it, what brand it is, because I absolutely do not know. I've had it for years. Then we're going to flip it over to the front side, and we're going to go in a circular motion in the center. And what we're doing is we're breaking up those paper fibers and shaping our petals the way we want them. We're going to repeat this with each layer of petals. And it's very simple to do. And I really love the dimension and the shape it gives to the petals. And it makes the flower three-dimensional, and it makes it look more realistic. So here we go. One more on this one. Now remember, I'm doing this on the back. Turn it over to the front, and then just go in the middle, and you just see those petals just pop up and come to life. If it's not rounded enough, just go back and go over it again. Okay, and then finally we're going to do the smallest one. And of course he's the easiest because he's nice and little. Now, like I said, I like to do these layers in different colors because it adds dimension and it separates the layers even more, and you see all the different petals. Now you can do this in 3 petals. Or 3 colors. You can do the darkest, a medium, and a lighter one and get an even different look. And these done in different colors, like lavenders and pinks, are absolutely gorgeous. So play with them. Give them a try. Have some fun. Try something different for a change. Don't always have to be traditional Christmas colors. All right, now as you see, I added some of our craft glue on the largest set of petals, and I'm going to lay the next one down, and I'm just going to push it down into the glue. And if you notice, I have staggered the petals so they're in between the bottom set. You wouldn't even notice them if they were layered on top of each other. So that catches pretty quick, and next I'm going to add a little more of our craft glue. And I'm going to take the tiniest layer of petals and press them right on top like so. Just hold it for a second. And I'm going to put it over here and just let it dry while we move on. Now I said I'll show you how I did how to use the steel rule die. And I'm going to use some of our brushed gold because we need a couple of these gold leaves. And I'm going to lay a piece, trying to see how to get the most out of my paper here. And I'm going to use a piece of repositionable tape to hold my paper in place. Now, you do not use your platform with the steel rule die. Oops, and I just knocked my piece of paper off of where I wanted it. Okay. You start with a cutting plate, your steel rule die cutting side up, your paper, and then the plate that you normally cut into. And you just roll this through. And these dies are fabulous. They cut like butter. You can cut felt, fun foam, fabric, lightweight chipboard. The list goes on, but it is fabulous. Fabuloso. Now the other thing, I'm going to do another one just because of my obsession with threes. I didn't put 3 on the original card, but it's kind of bugging me as I'm sitting here looking at it. So I'm just going to trim this extra off. And I'm going to run it through again to get me a 3rd leaf. So again, you can see how you load this into your machine. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I love the steel rule dies, but you have to use a whole piece of paper, whether you want these other parts or not. No, you do not. You definitely do not. You just cut it to cover the area that you want. All right, so we're done with that die for now. So we have our gold leaves. Now I'm going to take my piece of Limeade Splash and Kiwi Slice ink, and we're going to stamp out some greenery. So I'm going to use the leaf from our Poinsettia Burst stamp set. That is this leaf, and we're going to use this piece of greenery. Did I have it in the shot? I hope so. So I'm going to ink it up good, and I'm going to stamp 3 of these. Okay, so there's 3 of those, and I'm going to wipe this with a baby wipe. And then I'm going to grab the greenery, and I'm going to place that on this block, and we're going to do 3 of these also. So I'm going to do 1. We'll do, let's see if that'll fit there, 2. And, oops, Butterfingers, 3. Okay, so we have our leaves and our greenery. And this die, or this stamp set, I mean, comes with coordinating dies, which is always awesome. So we're going to get those out. Now, if you prefer, this set creates a more flat poinsettia, whereas the steel rule die creates the more three-dimensional poinsettia. So you can most certainly, if you just have that set, use that poinsettia instead. Now I'm going to place my dies over my stamped image, get them centered. Again, using a piece of repositionable tape, I'm just going to secure my die, and I don't need these, so I can put them back in the package. Now for our regular cookie cutter dies, as they're referred to, you do need the base, of course. You need the base, the plate that you cut into, your paper, your dies cutting side down, and your top plate. And we're just going to run them through. And what's nice is we can do 2 at a time, because we're doing 2 separate greeneries. So there's one. I'm going to move it over here. And I can turn this one. I stamped this one upside down. Whoops, that leaf just popped right out of there. Okay. And let's get this on here. I see the sunlight is coming in, so I'm going to close my blind. so that you don't have that streak of sunlight across my desk here. All right, now we're ready to run this through again. I'm just rolling it back because it's easier to do under the camera. Believe me, you don't have to roll it under there twice. They cut beautifully. All right, and one more, and we will be ready to assemble our card. And not quite, because I stamped these too close. So, going to take just a little bit longer there, folks. Please bear with me. Okay, the last leaf. And now we can do the last sprig. I notice I have some gold silk splattered on here, which is fine. But that's a point you want to remember when you're using the silks, to make sure that you have everything out of the way, because anything that's in the area will get splattered. Okay. Now we're done with our die cutting. See how they just pop out of there? It's fabulous. And by using the repositionable tape, you're not going to damage your paper at all. So that's something to keep in mind. Now I'm going to bring back my splattered pieces here, and they're going to go this way. And where did I place my card? Okay, Jeanne, where is it? I buried it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, let's see, how am I going to do this? I'm going to place this right in the center, okay, of my card. And I'm going to go ahead and tack it down, because there is no, I'm not putting any ribbons or any bows or anything fancy around it. So I'm going to try and get it right in the middle of the card. Sorry, folks. I thought I had that unplugged. Okay.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone. To delete all old messages.
Sorry. I did have the phone off the hook. I don't know what happened. I apologize for that interruption. This is a live video, and those sort of things happen when you go live, unfortunately. Now, I'm going to line this up across the top of my page, and I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive. And center it like so. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. Make sure you have your gold bands facing up. Whoop. Keep going off the edge. I'm so bad with my tape runner. Okay. Now I want to try and keep the same border all the way around. So there we have our base for our card. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Now I'm going to take, we'll start with our gold leaves, and we're going to put our poinsettia right about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start to kind of lay out my greenery how I want it to go. And like I said, I wanted 3 gold leaves, not 2. So I'm going to place them first, and I'm going to kind of do them in a inverted Y kind of shape. So I'm going to go ahead and place one here, and I'll place one here. Now you can use craft glue if you prefer, and I will probably be using that on the greens, simply because there's a lot of little areas on those furs. So, okay, I think that looks really good, like so, and when I put my flower there, I really like that. Now I'm going to start adding some of the greens. And these, I might have to cut off part of them just to get them to fit. So I'm going to cut off the bottom. And I'll kind of place them with a little bit of glue. And I'll just kind of place them also in a Y position, but maybe in a different direction. Now I'm cutting, they're long, so I'm cutting them off so they don't end up peeking out of the opposite end of our poinsettia. I only want them to go in one direction. This guy needs some more glue, I think. Now if you have trouble holding them down, just simply apply your stamp block on top of it, and that will hold it in place beautifully, and it'll tack the whole thing down really nice while it dries. So, whoops, I got a lot of glue in one place, so I'm just going to take my finger and spread it around a little bit. And this one I think I'm going to put here. Now I'm going to reset my poinsettia and make sure that everything is still visible, which it is. And then now I can go ahead and add my green leaves. And I'm just going to set them kind of in between like that. And I think that looks really, really good. So I'm going to go with that. I have a huge drip of glue here. So now hold that down. And I like the gold leaves mixed in with the greenery. I think it just adds a little more bling, if you will, to the card. I'll make sure I got my leaves going in the right direction. Okay, and I think that is pretty darn good. Doesn't look like much now, but when you put your poinsettia on top, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now for my poinsettia, I want to set it up on a foam square, because I want it to pop up a little bit off the paper, and you only need one. You're right, you heard me, only one. Queen of the foam squares here is telling you you only need one. Okay? Then I'm going to take our Happy Holidays sentiment from my Robin Holidays stamp set right here, and I'm going to ink it up in black licorice. Make sure I get it nice and inky, and I'm going to place it right down here in the lower right corner like so. Now the last couple things that I have to do is take some of our Fashion Gold, and I'm going to take the little and the medium ones. I've got to get this package open. And I'm going to place those in the center of my poinsettia. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue just to help hold them in there. And this is a little bit of a tricky procedure here. but I'm just going to kind of drop them down into the glue, and it'll dry clear, so you won't see it, but it'll make sure to hold these beads where you want them. So use some little ones and use some medium-sized ones, and get them in there. You can use your bloom tool if you want. Whoops. To hold them in place. And I'm just going to press them there for a second. And like I said, when that glue dries, it will be perfect. So I'm going to set that to dry, and here's the original card. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll give it a try. So let me bring you back down and turn this around. There we go. And I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this card. Hi, Karen. Hi, Janice. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you here. That is all the comments that I am seeing at this point. I know a lot of you are having problems doing the chat on YouTube, and I'm sorry. I really don't know how to tell you how to do it from your end of the camera. I can only tell you from my end, and I have it set up. Yes, my Tuesday morning friend. It's true. Well, let me show you the finished card here once again. I hope you like it, and I would appreciate it if you would stop by my website, funstampersjourney.com/Jeanne Bobish, so that you can see, thank you, Karen, you could purchase any of these products too. Also, check out my blog, astrokeofgenius.blogspot.com, and I will have that link in the comments up above, so that you can see all the products I used. So again, here's the finished card. I hope you liked it. I want to wish you all a happy Friday. I hope you have a safe and wonderful weekend. And again, don't forget, thank you, Joan. Oh, good. That's wonderful, Janice. Maybe it's starting to work. We're going to start getting our chats going on. So don't forget, guys, too, if you can, to please make a card for the Fun Stampers Journey Be Brave card drive. I would really appreciate it, as would Fun Stampers Journey. And remember, I had the little note here. Remember that you don't have to use Fun Stampers Journey products. Use anything that you have in your stash and just make a great inspirational card for someone who is suffering with breast cancer. So please go to my blog. There's a separate post that gives you all the information you need. Hi, Susan. On what to do, what size cards you need, and where to send them when they're all made. We want to blow the roof off of that 500 card goal. So help me to do that. I've made some of my cards. I'm going to be making more tonight, I think. So have a great day. And keep on keeping on. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.